Okay, welcome back, everybody. We are live once again. Let's get a screen up. How's everyone doing today? What's this? Oh, I can do some more stuff. Nice. Anyway, sorry, YouTube's streaming thing is a bit different today. They've added some features by the looks of it. All right, how's everyone doing? Good morning, everybody. We're back again, scalping, day trading, New York Open. I've got a new indicator, ChatGPT coded for me. I'm just testing it out today. It's looking quite well, but I'll explain that in a minute. We're just about to open. Let's see how the open is. Very bullish. Ooh, look at that. Someone placed a huge order, hence why it's gapped like crazy. Sean Evans in the chat. Good morning to you, Sean. Trevor, good morning as well. And Ronald, of course. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. All right. We have had quite a pre-market. Very, for the most part, very bearish. Pretty interesting stuff. But let's see how this opens and how today on the New York session is going to look like. We'll just look at the volume real quick, see what we've got. If I got this on 4, I don't know. Let's have a look. Trying to get the footprint settings up. Oh, no, wrong one. Give me 2 seconds. No wonder. All right, let's put it to 4. Let's see how it looks. That's much better now. Much better. Damage to you. Afternoon to you. How are you? Ange Trader, good to see you, my friend. How is everyone doing? Apologies for not being able to stream yesterday, go live. I just didn't feel well. Like really strong headache all day. And I thought, okay, maybe by the time I go live, I can get rid of it and feel better. But it just kept getting worse. So I had to cancel the live, unfortunately. But I'm all better now. So, Mohammed, good to see you, my friend. How are you? So we've had quite a bullish open, but if you actually look at the contract size, I mean, there's a lot of buyers, right? But we haven't really moved that much. So, in my opinion, these people are quite vulnerable. I wouldn't be surprised if sellers try to attack them and get below them and squeeze them out. I could see that happening. Now, there's no confirmation that the sellers are even trying. There's a bit of sell pressure at the top here. You can see the numbers dropping a bit. There's a bit of more sell pressure. I think they're trying to attack these buyers and squeeze them out. So we shall see. But I'm going to let it calm down as normal. I'm going to let it calm down a bit. All these sellers are doing quite well. You can see these buyers have dropped out very quick at break even. Don't blame them. Buyers coming back in near the lows. It's these guys trying to defend, because if you actually look at the volume, 414, 414. So this whole area, someone on the open placed a very big aggressive buy order. This person's going to try and defend. So straight away, look at that. They're trying to come in. Let's see. They're still defending. These buyers here don't want to get squeezed out. But if they do get squeezed out, we have a trade. So let's see what happens quite literally in this area here. All sellers might squeeze them out. Let's see if these buyers drop out. We're looking for big numbers on the sell side to spike, and then we can go short potentially. I think they're dropping out. All right, let's go short in anticipation that they'll drop out hard. It's hard to know if they'll drop out. They've bought it up again very quickly, these buyers. But let's see if sellers can keep that pressure going and really squeeze them out, because we haven't really squeezed out the majority of the buyers yet. Now they're coming back in quite quickly, these buyers. They're defending. Really, if we get above that 365, yeah, we're above quite quick. They came in very quick, these buyers. But let's see these fresh buyers, if they can hold it off. 230, 280. Nah, the buyers are coming in. I'm out. That was that was quite a bad trade, I would say. That was literally worst execution I've but it's fine. It's fine. I was expecting the pop to happen right here, but we didn't get it. What I was expecting to happen was, as we get below these buyers, They're all going to drop out. I start seeing the numbers get a bit bigger, indicating some buyers anywhere from here, who knows who, right, are slowly basically getting stopped out, getting out the market. And then if that does occur and most buyers get out, you get the sudden movement down. But buyers instantly bought it back up and came in hard to defend. So they weren't out the market yet. They were still fighting. So not much we can do. Trevor just getting warmed up. Absolutely. Coach Z, good to see you. Good morning. Tatin, good morning, Sammy. Is it a bullish or bearish day? I would go more bearish for now, but long term still. One moment we get some positive news, next moment we get negative news. Everything's up and sellers coming back in. Let's see if they can this time squeeze out these buyers. I still think there's a valid trade here. It's all these guys, all these people, all these buyers need to get squeezed out. Sellers defended, but buyers are buying the bottom again. So no, not yet. I thought they would drop out a bit easier, but they just weren't willing to drop out, these buyers. They are fighting. So 360, sellers actually adding more volume now near the lows. This might actually occur now. Still a bit of buying. If we can get below that buying, I might go in again. All right, I'm going to go in again and see if now the buyers are going to get out. I'm hoping we just get a very sudden move, but no, again, they're buying up. These buyers are buying it up. They're not willing to let go yet. Those sellers are coming in, trying to defend a little bit. It's good that sellers are defending lower down now. But if these buyers keep coming in, unfortunately, we just rotate back up. But let's see if sellers can, because we saw bigger sellers come in a bit lower down, like here, this 465. So it's really down to these people here to kind of hold off the buyers, add more volume. That's what I want to see. I want to see bigger volume, and then I just want to see a candle go down and loads of sell volume in that candle to indicate the buyers have exited. Let's see. There's some buyers exiting, but still not the majority. We still got a lot of buyers holding and still willing to fight this. Any moment now, surely they must let go of their position. I mean, we have a low here. I can imagine will be a turning point. Let's see, buyers still coming in. They're not giving up, but sellers are trying to push them down, which is good. The more buy volume that comes in, the more chance, well, the more stops that are going to be present. And once they get hit, the more aggressive the move. So I'm really hoping buyers give up. It all depends. Sellers, the good news is sellers are still willing to short near the lows, but they're slowly starting to drop off a bit, the sellers, because you can see the numbers on the buy sides going up. Look at that delta, though. So it's looking a little bit, the buyers might be able to pop through. I need to see sellers come in. I think they might. Come on, bigger sellers. We need big numbers. That's too little. 145 is nothing. I need like 200-300. But ideally, I don't really want to go much higher than that wick there. Because that's where the sellers came in before. If they're not willing to come in again, look at that. Buyers are just the sellers come in there, which is okay. So that should be our resistance. If we get above that, then I know this is a failed trade. So I can pretty much put my stop now, around here somewhere. Factoring in the spread. There's a bit bigger sellers. Good. We just want to see, maybe like 700-800 on the delta on the sell side as we break below. Then we know a large chunk of the open buyers, all these people up here, are finally out the market. I want to see a big number. We're seeing some of them trickling out. Every time we break a low, we see some of them sort of trickle out. But we haven't seen like a big jump yet. And this is that low there, which I can imagine there's going to be stops, and then also that low. Ooh, let's see. Buyers still buying up the lows. Sellers are making a bit more progress now. Just want to see a big jump. They're still in the market. A lot of buyers are still holding on, believe it or not. And they're adding to their position. But it's good that we got below those buyers, but we need to keep getting below. We can't let them have any ground. They just keep adding. They're not giving up, which is pretty worrying. Because if they're not giving up, sellers have to keep adding to push them down and force the move. But it's good. Sellers are still adding. Definitely some buyers are dropping out. There's a bit bigger volume. Definitely some of them are dropping out. There's the 600. That's what I'm looking for. Big down these lows. So, but look at that. We've gone back to 90. We went from 600 to 90. I mean, 500 or so buyers came in right there, which is worrying. So we got to keep our eye here. And if buyers keep coming in like they are now, let me move to, we want to get below now. See, they're just buying up the bottom. We want to see if we can get below those buyers. If they get much higher and add too much volume, I want to see sellers come in. That's it. Good. See how quick that went negative. But we still need to get below that 119 because we know that's where the main buyers came in, right? 500 we know came in there. If we track the delta, we know 500 buyers came in right there at that low. We need to get rid of them. Doesn't look like buyers came in because it closed at 119 to the sell side, but it was negative 600 and it closed at negative 100, meaning 500 buyers came in. And we know that the sell volume there were people's stops, right? Because it was right below that low. Makes sense. Those were stop losses for a lot of buyers. So buyers, a large chunk of buyers are out, but they're still just jumping back in. They're like, look, another 500 execute. This is a big buy in the market. I think they might take it, to be honest. Yeah, I'm getting out. That is a big buyer. They're just too aggressive right now. They're not willing to give up. And if they're not willing to give up, what can you do, right? I mean, you can't. Unfortunately, that was very annoying. But just down here, there's just a buyer who's not giving up. Some big institutional buyer. They dropped 500 contracts here. Dropped another 500 to defend their position. Sellers are still coming in. It's just going to be... But I feel the market recently has been very much... it's been very similar in terms of buyers and sellers are just, they're not giving up. They're very stubborn. Both parties are very stubborn in the market. And that's why we've had this really nasty, choppy price action. I mean, it's not been bad in the pre-market, but I looked at yesterday's chart. Yesterday looked horrific. Like, look at this. Just absolute horrific. And it was really wicky and up and down. Even when it moved, it couldn't move nicely. Everyone was just fighting each other. It was absolute brawl. But I do, again, question why there is a buyer so desperate and putting in so much volume. But I'm not going to chase it. I'm not going to think, okay, insider trading. I'm not going to go down that route today. All right, let's have a look at the chat. Morning, Sammy. Oh, I saw that. Crypto, good to see you. Hello. What can you do? Typically, I yell at my monitor. Yeah, I mean, that really did. I'm not going to lie. I didn't show it, but that did piss me off. That buyer there really pissed me off. Because rather than just let go, it's fine. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just say, all right, no, they had to double down. They had to add more size. Why? Just let go. It's fine. And now look, this person's now going to be in drawdown. Let me guess. Are they going to let go or are they going to double down? No, they're doubling down. They're just, no, they're right. Just keep adding more volume. All right, fine. But then we get these really shitty markets where you just get one candle up, one candle down, one candle up, one candle down. It doesn't really go anywhere until someone just one side just gives up and says, all right, fine. You know? So yeah, that did piss me off, that candle. I'm not going to lie. That buyer has pissed me off. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same buyer from the open that placed this, because that was very aggressive. And then again, they kind of went a bit aggressive around here somewhere, I think. And then they kind of held off for a bit. Definitely some people got stopped out quite heavy here. And then just entered again, another 500 and then another 500. It's just very, very aggressive, this buyer. Which leads me to believe that this person ain't going to give up. Because on the sell side, we don't really have one aggressive individual. I haven't really seen one aggressive individual. It feels like it's a bit more of a collective on the sell side. Does that make sense? What I mean by that is it feels like it's more kind of larger amount of people as a whole kind of want to short and get this market down. But this buyer is just extremely adamant, not letting go at all. Let me track how the sellers come in, if they do come in now. Yeah, so you can see on the sell volume, it's not really that big, right? When they do come in, they come in like 86, 155, 245, 282, 199. It's like in little chunks. So it's more a bunch of people, or still not people, big institutions, obviously. But it's more a collective on the sell side that's coming in. Whereas the buyer at the bottom, that was just one dude just instantly placing a big chunk of orders, but didn't care. It's one aggressive person. And I have a feeling they're probably still in the market from their open, and they're trying to get back into profit, essentially. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the numbers massively spike up on the buy side as we get close to their open. Because if we imagine that buyer probably, that black line is their entry price, roughly, wouldn't be surprised if they start looking to exit once they're in profit. So I imagine they're in profit now again, and they're probably okay. Yeah, look, they're just... So what I would question now is, if we come back around this area, are they... Because they were probably sweating a bit here. Do you know what I mean? They probably weren't too happy when they went drawdown. If we come back to their break even, and their break even would be hard to say exactly, but around here somewhere, most likely, are they just gonna, all right, forget it? I don't want to go and draw down again. I don't want to have to deal with that, and just exit their position, or are they going to keep adding? That's the question I have now. Let's have a look. There is inequality to the sell side so far. ZT Content, good morning, everyone. Hello, Sammy. Been away for a while, but looks like I'm not missing much, as this market is shit. So I will come up with some joke. Get ready. Peter, it's good to see you again. Absolutely. Go on, hit me with your joke. Today's choppy session was like flirting with someone who only sends half-nude selfies. So much teasing, zero follow-through, and I'm left over-leveraged with nothing but regret and the RSI button. Oh, Peter, you crack me up. Cody, good to see you. Sammy, be aware, overnight low on NQ is 23,666. Bad. Oh, yes. That's bad juju right there. That's the mark of BlackRock. That is the mark of BlackRock. All right, we're approaching these highs. I can imagine. I think that buyer just wanted it too much. Crazy son of a bitch. But it worked. I mean, you got to hand it to him. It worked. You know, he didn't give up. He was persistent. He just kept adding. Didn't care. Fair enough, you know. So now now we got to just try and figure out where this guy gets out, you know. When is he exiting the market? That's the big question now. So we're approaching a high. If we see a large amount of buy volume at the top here, I'm going to assume a lot of buyers have taken profit. And I think there will be a spike in volume as people take profit. But we'll see. I mean, we can look at the 15-minute, try and figure out where this person thinks the market's going to go. I mean, that kind of matches up with those highs. I wouldn't be surprised if it would be even a bit higher than here he's probably targeting. This person seems to be, because would you put that much size on for a small move? I don't think so. I think it's a bit risky, you know, adding all that size for potentially 20 points is a bit. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit risky. I'm going to assume he's looking for a bigger payday, and that's probably why he never got stopped out either, because he's probably putting on a bigger position in terms of maybe his stops were down here. You know, he's looking at a much bigger position. That would make more sense to me. You know, if his average price is somewhere, why is that not working? If his average price is, let's say, somewhere around here, even that's just a 1-to-1. I don't think. I'm thinking this guy's looking for a really big position. I think he's going higher up. I think I'm going to be a lot more bullish now, as long as that buyer's in the market, because that person clearly wants it. Oof, there's a big spike. All right, definitely people taking profit, stops getting hit, all that happening. Sammy, you were smart not to trade yesterday because it was April Fool's Day for me. I lost a little money I had in my account. I mean, it wasn't, I didn't mean to not trade. It was literally, I just had a migraine and I was like, I can't do it. Otherwise, I would have traded. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't, because I looked at the chart of yesterday and it was disgusting. Like, what the hell? It was a really nasty chart. So I'm glad I didn't trade yesterday, because that would have been bad. I might start looking at going long, because we've broken the high. Oh, I just saw that little signal come up, bull signal. So this is a new indicator I'm testing out that adds time into the equation. I might go for it. I'm seeing, yeah, I might go bullish. I don't like buying so high up though, but I do believe that buyer is looking for a big move. But I do want a bit of a retracement before I get in. But I kind of feel like this person just keeps buying. It's just going to keep going. No, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for a bit of a pullback. But just as I say that, explodes up. Very annoying. Yeah, this buyer is serious. I just don't like buying at the highs. Do you know what I mean? I just don't like buying it. But yeah, this buyer is serious. It's very annoying. It literally explodes up just as I decide to hold off and wait for a retracement. You can't make this shit up, can you? Okay, we're approaching the next high. Let's see if that buyer exits, or do they stay in the market? This is the big question. Do they keep buying, or do they finally get out the market? If they get out the market, then I'm starting looking at shorting it. But I don't want to be shorting whilst there's that buyer in the market, because that person it's just way too aggressive. I mean, they single-handedly sparked this move off. That was one individual single-handedly made this whole bullish move happen, because they entered here with like 500, they entered another 500, and when it came back down, they just kept entering. They were mental. So I'll explain what this indicator does, of what I asked ChatGPT to create. So essentially, look at the footprint, the delta, exactly what I'm seeing here. But whenever there is a large amount of volume to the sell side, so for a bullish signal, I asked it, whenever we're going down and there's like this, like a large amount of sell volume, but then it instantly rejects within under a second and pushes up above, and there's large buy volume that comes in instantly above it, paint a signal for a bullish. So similar to what we just saw there, but it wasn't big enough, or it didn't trigger because it wasn't big enough, or there wasn't enough volume, or it wasn't quick enough. But essentially, I want that kind of instant, track the instant movement. So essentially, and apparently it happened here, because that usually indicates that, you know, a big aggressive order by one individual is placed in gap to market. So follow them. Okay, there is a better one. Peter says, trading during low liquidity, I'd sneak in a quick one. Spread widened, slippage kicked in. Suddenly it felt like paying for dinner and a weekend getaway just to get stopped out before main course. There's a lot of innuendos. Trump is posting, so the big buyers are Donald and his mates. If only we have info from them. I think that was insider trading, because again, you know, they were just suspiciously aggressive, especially at the open. You know, just instantly, boom, first people through the door. I mean, here not so much. I guess it's not really that suspicious here because we are at that low, so naturally you expect buyers to come in. So it wasn't that suspicious. But what was suspicious is that they never exited the market. They never covered their risk. Do you know what I mean? They allowed themselves to get into drawdown and didn't really give a shit. But that could be two reasons. That could be because they have a much bigger stop and they're looking for a bigger kind of move. Or B, they don't care about the drawdown because they know something's about to happen, and they know that insider trading, that why would you care about drawdown if you truly know something's about to occur? You don't care, you just hold it, right? So one or the other. But I guess it's not really that suspicious that they entered there. It's more suspicious they didn't exit. That is what's suspicious, in my opinion. Ah, shit, we broke the high and I didn't even look at it. Damn. Didn't see what happened here, sadly. But look, they're still buying. They're still buying. Absolutely mental. Eric, good to see you. Great day to you. How are you, Eric? Look at that. My, oh my. Do you think Trump's about to say something? Do you think some good news is about to come out? I mean, someone in the market certainly thinks so. Look at this buying. This is mental. I'm just ignoring the fact that there's a gap here because this is just unusual amounts. I'm not even looking to short against this. While that buyer's in the market, I have no interest in shorting. Shit, I should have just bought when I knew that was going to happen. I freaking knew it. But I didn't trust my damn gut, and I thought, all right, better be safe than sorry. But around here, I was like, I should really buy because I could see they're just constantly buying. And I was like, let's just wait for a bit of a pullback and then get in. And it just shot off. Ah, well. Ah, well. Frickin' buyer. Look at that. I mean, now I kind of have to wait for a pullback. I mean, how much further can this freaking go? I don't want to chase it here. This is getting a bit too high now for my liking. I mean, we've got a few more areas. Got there. We've got a few highs there, and that matches up with a gap, so that might be quite interesting. And then obviously we got all these highs here. Yeah, we've got a lot of areas where I can imagine. I mean, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if they're going for the full V-shaped reversal. I would not be surprised if that buyer is going for, all the way up here as take profit, because this is the steepest climb up, and it's just, they're not laying off the gas. They're just buying. They're completely not laying off. Like every time you look at the footprint, it's just big buy volume everywhere. Bid or sell volume comes in, instantly buys it up, adds another 500. Look at this. Insane. Absolutely mental. But unfortunately, I have to wait. I have to wait for something, a pullback of some kind. Okay, this might be the start of a pullback, maybe. Even if we just get back to like here, even if we just get back to like around here somewhere, I'll be willing to buy. That'll be fine. It doesn't even have to be a big pullback, just a small one. As long as the buyers keep coming in, I'm okay with that. I wanted to buy, but as a course of choppiness, I didn't have the balls to press the button. Now I look, kid, when he broke his favorite toy. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Peter. I didn't want to just buy near the highs and be like, there might be a pullback. Why buy at the high? But it's just one of those moves where it just doesn't lay off. Oh, okay, here we get the first bit of sell volume coming in. It looks like buyers are dropping out. There's a few buyers trailing out right now, which is the first sign of a pullback. Great, because we've got some big sell volume. I don't think it's true sellers. I think it's literally buyers just clicking the exit, getting out. Now we want to see some real sell volume. That's real sell volume right there. All right, good. Let's get a bit of a pullback going. Let's see when we can re-enter. 5. Oh, that's a lot of sellers getting a lot of buyers getting stopped out. There's the first smidge of buying, 96 at the bottom. It's not a lot though. It's only 96. I want to see that big ass buyer come in again. Oh, you freaking kidding me? Is that it? Come on, dude. Was that it? Gotta be kidding me. All right, well, give it another few seconds. Maybe the sellers can bring it back down again. All right. That's some big volume. Good. So there's a lot of fresh sellers in that candle. $149, 200. I see a bit of buying coming in, but I want to see actually getting below the buyers. So not yet. Yeah. All right. Fuck it. Let's go in for a buy. I haven't seen true aggression from the buyers, but I'm worried that it's going to leave without me. But I might get potentially trailed out here because there's a lot of buyers dropping out, and I haven't seen true aggression. No, I don't think it's it yet. I'll hold it a little bit longer. See if I'm expecting those big buyers to come in any second. Surely they're willing to jump back in. Where's that big buyer? There's a bit of aggression. 300, a bit higher up now. But let's see if we can undo what the sellers did and push this market back up again. Come on. I want to see sellers give up. There's a bit of aggression, but it's actually not that big. We had a bit of buy aggression there and there and there, but it's not like it was before. Buyers actually holding off a bit. I think they're a little bit spooked by the sell volume that came in. And I don't blame them. 1,000 got, look at that, sellers are coming back in. This might be a deeper pullback. I think it's going to be a deeper pullback. Unless we get above those sellers now. Unless buyers get above those sellers now, there's going to be a deeper pullback. It looks like it might be. 200. Just seeing, there's no buyers coming in yet. They're not interested. They are not interested at all. Not yet, at least. I want to see that big buyer come in. All right, a little bit of buying coming in. We've dropped it back to 193, 115, 140, but it's not a lot. There it is, 200, a little bit more buying. But it's not how it was. Sellers are actually more aggressive right now. I think it's going to be a deeper pullback. So I'm going to get out and wait for the deeper pullback. You just saw that. Like, there was no real, like, the buyers just weren't that crazy for it. Like they were. There's a bigger chunk of buyers that just got stopped out. Still waiting for that crazy buyer to come in. All right, that was a very quick move away. So there was a big... I didn't see a big buyer, though. Might go in again. This might be it. 300. All right, it's gone up to 400. Let's try it again. Let's see if they can finally make it happen, because that was a lot of buying right there. That's the first, like, there's a bit of big chunk. There it is. All right, so it was a little bit delayed there. Why they took so long to freaking come in. I was expecting a little bit more from them. Might even 600. I'm going in with another contract. Let's see if we can do two here. Pile it on a little bit. Let's see if we can just keep going and the sellers all drop out. We want to get above, of course, the highs here. Squeeze out all the sellers as expected. Yeah. Come on. Keep adding 2,000 contracts. Good. Good. There we go. There's some buyers getting out, some sellers getting stopped. Sellers coming back in aggressive. Sellers like this area, I tell you that. That's a big chunk of sell aggression very quick. And I feel like the sellers are not that bad. Some potentially, if we don't get above them again, we might rotate back down and it's not really going to do much. And that would be slightly annoying. So I want to get above those sellers pronto, ASAP. I want to see buyers come in. There's still, sellers are adding. There's a bit of buying. Drop down to 260, but back to 360. 199, that's a bit more buying happening. Good. Oh, back to 400. The sellers are adding here. They like this area for some reason, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'll probably have to look at the structure and see what's going on here, but it looks like the sellers are just coming in and we're rotating back down. Fuck me. Guys, what's going on? Where are the buyers? Buyers don't want to buy near the tops anymore. Look at that. Before, they were willing to constantly buy at the top. I'm just waiting for the buyers to come in. Maybe a little bit lower down, they're willing to come back in again. Oh, shit, what have I done? It's a little bit of buy pressure, but it's not enough. It's not enough to get this market up. I need to see bigger. There it is, 200. A little bit more. Otherwise, I'm getting out. If these buyers don't get aggressive at the tops, we're never going to break through the high. This is the problem. There's a bit more aggression, 400. Back down to 190. Sellers are coming in. Back to 370. Good. As long as buyers add, there we go. 240. Come on, keep adding. Let's not stop here. 500. Come on. 300. A little bit of selling again, but these buyers are getting absorbed at the top here. We need to break through it pronto. I want to see buy pressure come in, heavy buying. 170, good. 200. All right, they're starting to add a bit higher up, which is kind of good news, but there's still sellers in this damn market trying to short the tops. But buyers are kind of, I don't like the fact that it has a bear signal, although there's a brand new indicator. I don't like that. Damn you, indicator. That's a lot of selling. Again, buys at the top. If buys don't come in, 130, 50, 52. Come on, buyers. 21. Sellers keep reloading here. They love it here. They love it. I think I'm going to get out. That's just, the buyers gave up again. Very weird. Very, very weird. Okay, let's have a look. ISME 6538, best level to buy, 15-minute opening range breakout. 6538. 6538, all the way down here. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, I mean, if we get back down there, I'll be definitely be looking to buy again. But the buyers have they're not really that interested anymore at buying near the highs. Most buyers are waiting for some pullback, then they come in again aggressively. But we need buyers willing to transact at the top and keep buying. Then we can break through. And they're just not willing. Before they were willing constantly. They were just buying it up like crazy. Now they've kind of, laid off the gas a bit, which is slightly annoying. Whenever you have a chance, could you show your footprint settings? Yes, these are the footprint settings. Okay. Sammy, you really think this is just one buy in the market? Because the same exact thing is happening in NQ. Pretty much, like whenever it's going to be, a lot of time it's going to be algorithmic as well. The idea of like one person on a desk, of course not. It will be some sort of algorithm most likely doing it, and it will be doing it across many different markets. It wouldn't just be the ES, it will be the ES, the NQ, it will be the Dow, it will be oil. They do it across so many markets, right? And then there's algorithms that copy from other markets over to the other one. So when I say like there's one person, it's not like one individual on a computer hitting buy. It's a lot more deeper than that. But essentially, it's one entity that is that is that aggressive. Do you know what I mean? Buyers got stuffed on 57 decision zone here. It's a PDL. What's a PDL? I'm trying to figure it out. End life journey. 5-minute supply zone. There is a low volume node that goes from 566. Oh, previous day low, of course. I could have figured. I'll start my brain, of course, previous day low. Is it the previous day low? I mean, the previous day low looks like yes, right there, previous day low. You are right. That does make sense. I think it's the previous day low. I think you're absolutely right. End life journey. I think that's why sellers are very happy to trade here, and buyers are laying off the gas a bit, and not willing to keep buying. So that makes sense. All right, that makes perfect sense. There is a low volume node that goes from 566 to 572. If you take a fixed range pull from yesterday's high, let's have a look. Yesterday's high, yeah? I might do it on a 5-minute, just see a little bit. Ah, okay, yeah, from that. All right. Oh, let me switch that back to 24. Yes, that one right there. It's I've got it. If I do it from low, yeah, right there. You're absolutely right. That one as well is matching up. Good spot, Cody. Good spot. I chased that breakout like a bad Tinder date. Market faked the moan, pulled back, and left me longing with my stop loan. Peter, where do you come up with these jokes? Neil Bately, good to see you. We have broke through supply. This should go now. I think it's just calm down a bit. I think buyers are waiting for a... Well, I don't know, actually. Looking at this, buyers are starting to come in again a bit. They're being a little bit more willing now. Before, they weren't really willing to buy that higher up anymore. But they're a little bit more aggressive again. But I do think there's an iceberg sitting right here. Somewhere here, there's an iceberg order. Because again, buyers are coming in a bit more aggressive now. Oh, shit. What have I done? There we go. But I am going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait for... I do want a bit more of a pullback. Because truth be told, what I'm seeing here right now is a lot of absorption. And buyers are going to have to be a lot more aggressive to break through here. And that is literally the type of aggression needed. Just as I said that, the aggression came in. But they are getting absorbed still. That's there is a big iceberg here. That was a lot of aggression. But even then, they're struggling to truly break right now. So buyers need a hell of a lot more volume to break through this iceberg. So in my opinion, I think it's going to be more of a pullback. It's going to be bearish for a little while, maybe back down to here somewhere. Who knows, right? Exactly where it's going to retrace to. It's hard to say, but I think there's going to be a bit more of a retracement because buyers need. And of course, if buyers keep coming in really aggressive like they did on the last candle, over 1,000 contracts, yeah, if they keep doing that, they will just break through. But at the current level of aggression, it's not enough. So either they become more aggressive, which could actually happen. I mean, they're still somewhat aggressive. Or sellers give up as well. That's another one. Sellers could just decide to stop shorting. But there is definitely an iceberg sitting here. Big, big, big iceberg sitting here. And truth be told, I don't know if that buyer is still in the market. I don't know if they've exited. It's very hard to track them now because we're just lost in a sea of volume. But I'm going to assume they're still in the market. Some decent buying coming in. Sellers are still willing to short it, but they're not really coming in heavy anymore, sellers. Like -3, -18. We're not seeing big numbers on the sell side really come in anymore. So it looks like sellers are finally giving up, and now it doesn't need that many buyers to actually break through. I think buyers might take it now. Yeah. All right, sellers looks like they're giving up. Yeah, sellers have given up. All right. Hi. What are your indicator on the right chart? Sorry if you've already answered. Paul McBride, it's not an indicator. It's a charting type, volume footprint. There's a video on my channel called How to Set Up the Volume Footprint Charts on TradingView. If you watch that video, it literally is a full tutorial on how to set it up. Because there's a few things you need. You need like TradingView Premium. You need a CME data subscription. A few little things you need in order to get it all. But yeah, that video will explain it and all the settings and etc. So go ahead, have a look at that video, and that should help you out. All right. 8 years of trying to get success in trading, but all I learned are jokes. But I am still trading. Maybe time to think about change career to stand-up comedy. Oh dear, this is good. Nils, good to see you. What's up, guys? Just joined now. Nils, great. How are you, Nils? Which TradingView footprint indicator? Oh, Michelle, exactly what I just said to Paul. Not an indicator, it's a charting type. Watch that video and all become clear, okay? You're welcome, Paul. It's a bit of a grind up. There's still an iceberg here, sitting here. And that's causing, you know, the buyers are chipping away at this iceberg, essentially. I'm thinking now, though, I'm trying to figure out this iceberg that we're seeing, because we have identified an iceberg. It's clear as day. Let me get rid of this. If this iceberg is, I'm trying to figure out, would this be someone building up a short position, or is it someone exiting passively? Because it could be a passive exit rather than a build-up of short positions. If it's a build-up of short positions, then there's a good chance. It's definitely, this volume looks a little bit suspicious. That to me does look like profit taking, potentially. I just can't imagine what. No, it could be a true aggression. We'll see. If it's true aggression, we'll see a reaction here. If it's not, then it's profit taking. So there could be buyers exiting right now, truth be told. I think it might be a build-up of shorts, actually, this iceberg. We won't know. We won't know until we've got to wait and see. If it's a build-up of shorts, then we should see at some point a lot of aggressive selling, and they'll push this market down. If it's profit taking, which I am more kind of inclined to believe it's at, then we just kind of go sideways a bit, and then fresh buying has to occur, and you know, either anything could happen. They could either go up or down depending on who comes in next. Does that make sense? But it does look like it might be real buying, actually, because there is defensive. You're seeing a bit of defensive volume, but it's, I don't know. I feel like it could be a build-up of shorts. I don't know why. I'm almost expecting really aggressive sellers to come in any second. I think it's a build-up. I think someone's building up a short position. Because that was a hell of a lot of buying happening with very little movement. There was definitely an iceberg, and I think the iceberg is someone building up a short. I might trust my gut here and actually go short. I'm going to go short and trust my gut. If I'm wrong, we'll break that high. and it's fine. But I don't know why, but I feel like it is there's an institution building up a short position. It just, to me, I don't know. I don't know why. If I see a lot of aggressive selling, because this selling here, I'm not going to count that as real selling, right? I'm going to count that more likely buyers who got in are getting trailed out a little bit. Since we broke that high, they're kind of, getting trailed out. They're being very whatever. But if I see more aggressive selling around, I mean, look, we need to really break these lows to kind of cement the move a bit. Let me label up that high. This is purely on institution short. It's a bit mental to short into such a bullish market, and we identified as a big buyer, but there is something's not sitting right with me, and I can't explain it. Something is not sitting right with me. It looks like one giant trap. To me, it just looks like a giant trap, and I'm expecting an institution to come in super heavy and push this market down. That is what I'm expecting to see. All right, we're getting a bit of volume, but again, I think most of this sell volume is not true sell pressure. I think that's just a lot of people getting stopped out, a lot of buyers. Let's see if I'm right here with my gut. And I'm going to try and hold this, because if I am right, this could be a very big move. There's some fresh selling happening, but there's still buyers willing to buy it. We haven't really gone down enough to kind of truly see real sell volume come in. A lot of this sell volume, in my opinion, is fake. Not fake, but it's basically just stops getting hit, right? From people who did buy anywhere here, getting trailed out, whatever. That is real buy volume. Now, if we see that buy volume get trapped again and caught out, and they push it down below, then I think I'm right on this. Then I think, yeah, it's someone building up a short position. So this is actually this is going to be quite important right here, what happens here. And it looks like, I mean, we haven't truly trapped them. We just got a little bit below them. We need to kind of get below that candle. And it's got to move quick, because I want to see a big institution place one big aggressive sell order and kind of gap it down very quickly. That's what I'm expecting to see. I'm expecting to see that, if I'm right. There's still buyers kind of buying the dip. Makes perfect sense. It's still very bullish. Buyers are like, oh yeah, great time to buy. I still haven't seen true sell aggression come into the market yet. You will see it. When you see it, you'll see it. Like you'll be like, oh, there it is. Hasn't happened yet though. 120, 200, still more buyers just coming in. Buyers buying the dip. I just have this hunch it's a giant trap. Look, I might be completely wrong, and it was just more people lifting off, taking profit. Then fine, we're not really going to go down if that's it. But my hunch is somewhere here during this iceberg, my hunch is that there's a institutional seller placing sell limits to build up a order, a short. But they're building it up passively, not aggressively. So they're a bit more hidden. That is my hunch. And usually once their order's filled, they go in really aggressive and push down the market. Then you see their aggression come in. Do you know what I mean? but we have yet to see the aggression come in. So because all the sell volume we're seeing is just buyers getting stopped out, right? Majority of it. This is all buyers getting stopped out. All that is pretty much buyers getting stopped out. Here's a bit of legit sell volume. Here's a little bit of legit sell volume because it's in areas where we already traveled into, right? So anything within these two black lines here after this candle is going to be legit volume. That's legit volume. That's a bit of aggression coming in now. Do they keep adding, or was it just a hunch, or was it no, buyers are buying up, they're adding a little bit? Is the seller that's building up a position? It might be. That's legit sell volume right here. So this is important right now. If these sellers can bring it down, I think I was right by thinking that it was. Let's have a look. There's a bit of a battle. There's a lot of buyers, buying the dip. So it was only 300 or so contract. It wasn't that much sell volume, but there's a bit of sell volume being built up, but it's somewhat aggressive, but not super aggressive. Because you can see that they were still, even here, they were building up passively a sell order, potentially. Because we had all this buy volume come in, and it kind of just stuck in this area. It couldn't really go much higher, except now it's going a lot higher. But it looked like there's still a passive seller in this market. Buyers managed to just poke above, but they're coming in a bit. I don't know. I'm still waiting for that real aggression to come in. I need to make sure my stop is okay based on, I think my spread is a little bit big, so I'm just going to move it a little bit to cover the spread, that high. That should do. Because really, if we break the highs, then I'm wrong, I think. I don't really want to hold it above the high. I just have a hunch. Just trying to keep track. There's still not massive aggression from the sell side. We're getting a bit more, like 100 contracts here, 100 contracts there. But it's matching the buyers for the most part. I want to see a big chunk to indicate that it's one entity. Does that make sense? Like this kind of small movement up, like where you see, if we look at the sell number, like that was a big chunk. That was an aggressive buyer came in. One entity just came in. You see how quick that happened? Instantly, that's what I was looking for, but on the sell side, right there. Hopefully you guys caught that. That is what I was looking for, that right there. But I was looking for that on the sell side to happen, to indicate that there was a true aggressive seller. But did you see how that was like instantaneous? Like it happened super quick. All of a sudden, the numbers just went from negative, whatever it was, into a massive chunk of positive. That was the aggression I was looking for. But so I was waiting for that to happen on the sell side. But yeah, no, I don't think there was a passive seller in the market. I think it was more just buyers laying off some of their size, and then an aggressive buyer came back on. And unfortunately, yeah. But that was a perfect example right there. I don't know if you guys saw that. Hopefully you saw that. If not, rewind it to that candle. Make note of that candle, 3:32 my time. 1 hour, 4 minutes. Oh no, 1 hour, 3 minutes it would be. Yeah, 1 hour, 3 minutes into the live stream. Make a note of that, because that right there is exactly what you're looking for. Now that happened to the bull side, obviously. But whenever you see that happen, such a high probability it's going to go in that direction. The thing is, once, it happens so quick though. You have to literally be staring at it to pick it out. And that's what I tried to get this indicator to detect. And it did detect it because it lit up with a bull, but I don't know why it disappeared. So that's obviously something I need to ask ChatGPT to, like, I don't know, it must be doing something based on candle close, where rather I want it to basically, whenever that happens, just show the signal. So it did put a signal there, but it disappeared again after candle close for some reason. So that is what I want this indicator to basically show me. Because then these areas are important, right? Because now we know, big institution right there. Let's see what happens, if we get back there. But yeah, no, they're just, that buyer is still in the market, by the looks of it. They're not willing to let go just yet. I can move up here. I think they're going for the highs again. I think they're going for the full-on highs. All right, well, didn't get a pullback, did we? The biggest pullback we got was that, which is, holy moly, look at this. 15 points. What the hell? Oh, that was a huge aggressive order placed. I feel like something's just come out. That feels very news candle. That feels news-like. Come on, load. That feels like news. Something has come out. It was insider trading. I can almost bet this is something. Come on. That is not normal. This is definitely news. And where did that buyer? I mean, that buyer came in ages ago, right? But they really came in on this candle. 332 is where they placed another order, or someone else at least, maybe a different buyer, but someone knew something on that candle, right? We saw it happen in real time. 332. This is definitely a reaction to news. It's just, for some reason, financial juice is extremely slow. I don't know why. I got like a delayed feed, annoyingly. I think I need to pay for it or something in order to get the... So when did it really spike up? It was like here, I think 335, maybe 336. The last few candles, but here it is. Drafting protocol with Oman for Hormuz Strait traffic. There we are at 36. So that candle right there. So even these people knew something. Insider trading again. Every time you see strange... look, we saw that from the open today, right? All the way down here, we were able to track that buyer. We tracked him all the way down here. Someone knew something. They weren't willing to get out the market. Remember, this was negative 600, right? Now, granted, at the time, I was like, well, it is at the low. I wouldn't really say that was suspicious buying because we're at that low. Kind of makes sense. But what was suspicious is when they came in, because they came in on the open very quickly. You saw it in one chunk. And when it went against them, they weren't getting out the market. They were sticking to the market, even at this low, even lower down. You never saw them exit. Their volume never, you never saw them actually get out the market. They stuck in the market. And when it got down to these lows, they added twice, big chunk, another big chunk. We've been tracking that person for ages now. And then they kept buying. Bit of slowdown, it's just sort of whatever. Market kind of consolidates a bit, right? And then a few minutes before the news came out, it was this candle here, instantly what happened right here is where the magic happened, because you saw it again. It was big negative numbers. I can't remember how much, maybe 200, 300, something like that, right, on the negative side. And it literally split second, it cleared all the sell volume, went positive, and shot up above it instantly. Big aggressive order. And that's what I was waiting for on the sell side to happen, but it didn't happen. And then what, 1, 2, 3 minutes later, the news came out, done. And then, of course, a lot of dumping orders. So all this sell volume, again, is not real sellers. That's buyers all dumping their orders, right? They're all getting out. They're all clicking exit, dumping their position. They are done. They've made their money from this little push up. They're all dumping it now. So now what happens afterwards, after they're exiting, that's really what we need to focus on. We need to focus on these candles now. So we had some more buying come in, but this looks like general kind of normal buying, right? And then we've got some more people dumping orders. These are fresh sellers coming in now, trying to short the market, or potentially some of these buyers getting out. It's hard to say, but those are, in my opinion, would be fresh sellers. Trevor there, Defo Agro selling the highs. Like to see a flush after we break the lows. That is awesome. Zoom data drafting. Oh, okay, yes, Sam. Yes, thank you for putting it in the chat. The news that came out. I don't know. Financial juice is a bit slow here for me. Also, something else. Hormuz Strait Protocol does not to constitute restrictions. 341. So right now. Okay. Neil Bately, 24,200 hit. This is my next 5-minute supply zone. Just exit my long 1,500 up. Amazing. Well done, Neil. ZT content. This is all just relatively short-term bullish runs, because fundamentally the entire welcome is very bearish in the foreseeable future, because the US is forced to run to acquire nukes. Pretty much. I mean, there's going to be a big sell-off at some point. Like, even just the AI boom alone, you know, the AI bubble is going to bubble even. It's going to pop at some point. They have no other on NQ. NQ, oh, very nice. They have no other choice, and I think everyone understands that now. Yeah, I agree with you, ZT. ZT content, I do agree. So yeah, bit of insider trading again happening. It's not as obvious as it was. I think whoever did it originally, I think it was like last week. I can't remember what it was, but it was a while back, and everyone spotted it. That was like huge. Even though I saw it even on the news, they were talking about it. I think whoever did it got absolutely bollocked. We're like, don't fucking do that again. You made it so obvious, you idiot. The hell are you doing 15 minutes before placing like a giant order? Was just completely insane. The indicator spotted that there was some kind of quick buying here just before we got that push up. So and why does it disappear though? I need to ask ChatGPT to stop doing that. I need to ask it to code it. Once it makes the signal, just keep it there. Don't, because there is where it happened. That's all I'm interested in. I don't care what. Do you know what I mean? All right. So I've got some editing to do with this indicator, but I'll give it away once it's like tested and good. I'll just give it away here for you guys to play around with, because essentially all I want it to do is to show me when those big orders are placed instantly, because I don't care so much about orders cumulatively being built up. Again, kind of gave me a little indicator there that some big buying was happening by one institution and pushed that market quickly up. Here definitely seems to be an area, because we had 2 signals already. There seems to be some buyer here. Boom, look at that. There he comes in. Just fucking beautiful. I mean, this works very nice, this little indicator. I've got to give it to ChatGPT for coding that. That works very nice, because it did it a couple of seconds before it actually jumped up. It already gave me the signal. So it's coded well. It did it really well, but it keeps disappearing. That's the only problem right now. I need it to stay on the frickin' chart. Otherwise, it's pointless. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, it's very, very pointless. Because it's essentially all I'm doing with my eyes most of the time. There was a big seller came in just a second ago. It's essentially all I'm doing with my eyes. But you miss it as a human being. You keep missing it. Do you know what I mean? Unless you're staring at the freaking footprint non-stop, you will miss it. And that's slightly annoying. And then you don't know, because a lot of time you just don't know it happened there. Because what's important is not so much the end volume, but how it was placed is important. Do you know what I mean? If someone places, like if this 307, if that was placed in one go by one entity, that means a lot more than if it was placed by, I don't know, 100 people placing 3 contracts. Do you know what I mean? That matters more. Like if how it is placed matters, but you can't see that in the end. Once it's happened, all you see is 307. I don't know if that was one individual, if that was one entity, if it was a collective of people. Unless you actually look at it and track it in real time with your eyes, you wouldn't know. And that's what I want this indicator to do. Again, here it told me somewhere here there was a big seller again in one chunk, and now we're going down. But we also know around here there's that buyer. So if I was in that short position, probably don't want to be, probably be very cautious at getting out and probably potentially taking profit around here just in case that buyer comes back in, So you can scalp the markets well if it just keeps the freaking signal on the chart. You may have missed my last joke for the day as you've been busy. So here you have it again. My trading and my sex life have a lot in common. Lots of positions opened with confidence, premature exits, and me hoping nobody checks the drawdown. Oh, Peter. Mo, how did you code that indicator? Pretty please. Just via ChatGPT. I basically asked it to. I can't remember exactly what I asked it. Let me see if I can pull up the prompt for you guys. It was a one-time thing as well. It did it one time. It just generated the code. Beautiful. Didn't need any revisions. Well, I do need a revision because, But I will show you the. This is the prompt. Can you create a trading view indicator that can read the delta footprint chart? So I want it to show a bullish signal if it sees lots of sell delta, as the candle moves down. But then in an instant, maybe under 2 seconds, the candle moves above all the sellers and buy delta comes in heavy above. I want it for the 1 minute chart. The amount of sell orders should be maybe 50% more than average in each cluster. The cluster should be 4 ticks per row. For a bearish signal, the same thing but reverse. So 50% more buy delta than average in a cluster coming in as a candle goes up. And if the candle shoots down below those buyers in under 2 seconds or under, with lots of sell delta coming in below the buyers, print a bearish signal. And then it basically said it can't really do the time thing, but it can look at it on a 1 second chart essentially and therefore, figure it out. I was like, cool. And it just printed it, just created the code. I copied it in and it worked for the most part. I just need it to, once it prints a signal, stick to it. Don't, like, here's a bearish signal. See, it got rid of it again. I don't want it getting rid of the signals. Now it's a bullish signal. So this candle is obviously very, buyers and sellers like probably don't want to be trading on this one, because there's big buyers at the bottom, big sellers at the top. They're all fighting within this candle. Who knows who's going to win, right? But looks like the sellers won. But back sellers again. So it's very nice. Like, I do like that is very nice. Be even better if it, I don't know if it's possible, but I'll ask ChatGPT, but say the signal was due to this cluster, if it could actually make the signal here, next to the cluster, or maybe just have the price point, so bear and then 608 or whatever, and then the actual price point of where the signal occurred. That would be fantastic if it could do that. So there are still some revisions I want it to make, but once it's done, I'm sure it will be quite easy to do. I'll put it in the description, and anyone on my channel, you can download it. And I don't know why it stuck this time. Like, maybe, I don't know, because you saw in the prompt, I didn't say anything about, then again, I wasn't specific about candle close or anything like that. So I don't know. Sammy, I think the indicator may be set to paint the signal on close. Try setting bullish to high of candle and bearish to low. Perhaps that will work. Good idea. I do think it's got something to do with that. Because again, I think I figured it out. Yeah. Okay, I see what's happened. So, looking at that candle, how it moved, and the signal, I think I figured it out. What it's doing is, when it sees the signal, if it because the way it does the signals, if we're going, so for a bearish signal, if we're pushing up in any way, and then there's a bunch of buyers, so quite a decent amount of buyers, like 1.5 times the average of a cluster, and then it instantly drops below them within a second, and sellers came in below, it paints a bearish signal, right? But if price was to go back above those sellers, it will get rid of that bearish signal. So the only way the signal stays is if price never goes above where the signal occurred. Does that make sense? So there's a bullish one. So as long as price doesn't go below like here, it will stay now. Boom. You see, as soon as we drop below, it got rid of the bullish signal. So now, okay, I figured out why it's doing that. But that is, in my opinion, like there, bullish, I don't know, it was like here somewhere. It saw the bullish signal. Okay, but then it disappeared again. I don't know now. I thought I figured it out there, but that didn't make any sense because it disappeared there. I don't know. Fucking hell. I thought I figured it out. But again, look, I mean, what a great, little buy here, get out. You could scalp it so well if it actually just kept the damn signal. Because again, we know, around here is where that bearish signal came in. Don't want to stay here. There's a lot of buyers and sellers fighting. But I'll figure it out. I'll get it tweaked, and there's a bearish signal in that area there. So that 200 right there. So if you entered here, I guess you'd have your stop, above the candle, and then maybe your TP down here. It's a quick scalp. I don't know. Or get out if it prints a bullish signal. I guess that's an obvious one as well. Sammy, I think, oh no, I saw that. Thank you. You're so amazing to help us all daily like this. I'm very thankful and grateful for all that you are teaching us day in, day out. Thank you, Coach. You're welcome, Eric. Would this be allowed with Ola? I don't see why not. I don't see why not. You're allowed to use indicators. Absolutely. You could absolutely use it. All right, so there I think you would have got stopped out. Those sellers got annihilated. If we do something similar, yeah, I don't see why not. You could absolutely, I mean, why not? So yeah, there's still tweaking to be made. But I think for the most part, but then again, the ones where it does stick are actually pretty fucking good. I mean, just look at a bearish signal here, got a bullish signal here, another bullish one here. All right, gave us oh no, that's now, and then 2 bearish down here. I mean, I need to ask ChatGPT exactly what it's asking. Another bearish right at the tip. I mean, that's a beautiful entry right there. I mean, even if you don't hold the trade, even if we do, let's say not above the candle as a stop loss, but maybe 2 times the candle width. So 6 points is the candle. So 12 stop loss, and then do 1 to 2, right? Or 1 to 1 even. But let's see 1 to 2. So 1 to 2 be like that. Even if we have a mechanical strategy like that. Boom. And then you had another one here. 2 times the stop of the candle. So you would have entered that candle as soon as the candle closed. So that's 2.25. So 4.5 would be the thing. And then 1 to 2. Yep, that would have been fine. And then you had a bullish one here. I mean, this is just, completely just an idea. That's 275, so 4,525, something like that. I can't even do the math right now. And then 1 to 2, something like that. That would have worked nicely. And then, I mean, we don't even have to draw that one out. That one's just incredible. That would have been a great, great trade. So that'll be a 6 stop, and then 1 to 2 would be up here. Nice. And you would have got a signal on that one. So this one, I think, would still be in the trade, because that is a big candle. That is a big ass candle, 15. So 30-point stop. Oh, you would have to definitely have an EA that enters based on, and then 1 to 2. I mean, I don't see this happening, but you never know. An EA that definitely, what's the word? Calculates the lot size for the stop loss. So you're not having, so whether it's 30 points or 10-point stop, it's the same fixed amount of profit, or loss on every trade. You'd have to have it like that in order for it to make sense, because then a big candle doesn't really matter. But even then, I mean, there was a few failed ones here, quite a few on this move down. But again, pre-market, middle of the night Asia session, we know that there's no real institutional activity massively happening. So it's not the same. So really, you only kind of want to look at, what's the word? NY open and beyond, really. But that really, I mean, it looks good. It looks good, but I'll test it more, tweak it, try figure it out. how I can make it better. But just in this last, I mean, this is obviously no very small sample data. This could just be pure coincidence that you'd have to do a lot bigger testing, a lot more testing in order for it to be, oh, it gave us a bullish signal. It did. So you would have actually exited on both the trades and flipped. So that would be a stop out. And then you'd have a bullish trade there. And it would be a 6-point stop. Is that right? I can't even see it now. $250, yeah, 5-point stop. You would have got stopped out instantly on that one. Well, that one would have instantly failed. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think that there has to be a bit of tweaking happening with the indicator, and probably something a bit more robust than just a fixed 1 to 2 or something like that. Just to make it, because you don't really want to leave, like when you're on such a good trend like that, you don't really want to leave that money on the table, right? Do you know what I mean? You kind of want to ride the moves and recognize when the move is failing. So I'd have to add more kind of logic in terms of the footprint. I have to add more logic on exits. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just have a fixed kind of 1 to 2 or something like that. Because, yeah. But yeah, time is it? Oh shit. Yeah, sorry guys. I do have to be somewhere in about 8-9 minutes. So, and I have to get changed and everything. I've gotta look different. But so unfortunately I will have to leave it there for this live. But thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back again tomorrow. And yeah, so join me tomorrow, 9:30 Eastern, New York Open, as usual. And we'll have a much better day. Today's, I don't know, was a bit of a different day. But yeah, absolutely. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Oh, Friday. It's Good Friday, isn't it? Is it Good Friday tomorrow? I think it is. You're right. It is Good Friday. All right. Well, I won't see you Good Friday tomorrow. And I think Monday's Easter Monday. So I won't see you there either. So I guess Tuesday. So have a long, lovely weekend, everyone. Do apologize. But yeah, I'll see you all Tuesday then again, 9:30 Eastern. I'll try get some videos out as well for the weekend. But thank you all for tuning in. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.